Is that good? Okay. Hello, beautiful people. Today we are on my bed. A new setting, new setting. So today I want to talk about something that I feel like the Holy Spirit wants me to talk about. So we're gonna talk about it. Um, and let's just get into it. So what we're talking about today is self-love. And I took some notes because, girl, I had a journey with self-love. Like God really needed me to love myself in order for us to grow. He needed me to love myself. And it was something that was so hard for me because, like, growing up, all I knew was getting bullied. So it was just so hard for me to know how to love myself. And God showed me how to love myself, and I love myself now. I'm beautiful. Like, I love myself because God loves me. So I'm gonna talk about my journey with self-love, and then I'm gonna give you some and how God healed me from, being able, how God showed me how to love myself and all that whole process. So before I start, I'm gonna start with a verse. Before I get into this, there's a scribe that's asking Jesus what's the greatest commandment of them all, right? And Jesus in Mark 12:29-31, Jesus answered him, "The first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. And the second, like it is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." So Jesus is talking to a scribe, and he's saying the greatest commandment is to love God, firstly, all your heart, mind, soul, and then to love your neighbor. And loving your neighbor as you love yourself. But what if you don't know how to love yourself? How can you love your neighbor? And I think it all begins with the structure he even set it up with. Love God, love your neighbor as yourself, because when you love God, you love yourself. So, loving yourself, you can be loving others. I'm going to talk about my self journey. Um, so, let's just get into it. Growing up, I was always getting bullied. First of all, I was in foster care. So, in my foster care, I was switching schools, got adopted. So, I'm over here, young, switching schools, going back and front. And in foster care, I even got bullied there. Got bullied in the school, and it would be for my parents. It was my parents. I was just bullied for the way I looked, and it was just such a big insecurity because being called like I'm ugly, like since you're young, like you're just like, oh, then that's who I am, that's when you start identifying yourself with. People can give you compliments, but you're just like, no, I don't really believe it, when you're young and you're wired and kids are calling you ugly, so it's just like, what? And I remember specifically one girl, she did not like me. She did not like me, and I have a little dot right here. I don't know if you see it, but that dot, she would bully me specifically for having that. You have something on your nose. You have something on your nose. I was like, no, I don't. No, yeah, well, I do, and I was just stay quiet, And I remember her having freckles, but she had it everywhere. She had some on her nose, not right here, but she was just pointing out mine. And I stayed quiet. I didn't know how to defend myself. I was young, but I was just like, I felt like, what do I do? And then I remember going home that day crying, and then thinking to myself, like, how can I take it off? How can I get rid of it? How can I get rid of it? And I remember someone told me, oh, you can put like makeup, cover it up. So I would do that. I did not like it at all. Like, it was just one insecurity that came. And then so there was that one, and then growing up, siblings, school, um, there would my looks, the way I act, the way I am. It was just, there was always a problem. There was always someone making some statement about it. There was always someone saying something about it. Oh, your nose is big. I had a big insecurity about my nose, my mouth, my teeth. I I didn't like smiling. I didn't like anything about myself because I'm just I'm ugly. I would cry myself to sleep. I would cry to myself like, why, like, Lord, why am I so ugly? Like, ooh, girl. I would stare at myself. I would stare at pictures and just be so disgusted with myself. I'm like, why am I so ugly? Um, and there's another one where my mom, like when your own mother tells you something about your features, it's like, you know, it's your mom. It has so much value in the power, and her words have so much value to a child. And I remember her. It was like high school, and she just made a remark about my teeth, and I. This was a past. I forget my mom, but back then I was just tormented by words, by others making statements, and then it was just defining me. I didn't love myself. I was like, I'm weird. First of all, I act weird. I don't really like people. Don't think I'm pretty. People, and even though I was combating these thoughts with my mind, I would try to fake it. Like, try to look at myself like, okay, what can I change? Like, how can I look better? I would always search up videos, how to make your nose smaller. How to, like, naturally, like, massage it and stuff. How to get rid of chubby face. How to fix your teeth naturally. So many things, and I was always searching for something to fix. I would look at myself in the mirror and I would just like, okay, this is wrong. I would just look at my insecurities. And so I was bullied, growing up. And even in the military, I joined the military and I was bullied there too. And I just felt so different. I always felt so different because I'm just like, why doesn't this girl like me? Like, what's wrong with me? And it just brought me back to my trauma from when I was a child. Feeling like I don't fit in, just feeling unworthy, feeling ugly. And I was just like it was so hard. And in the military, I'm an adult now. Why am I still getting bullied? Like, why am I still getting bullied? And it caused me so much hurt, so much pain because, sometimes others, their words have power and it just sticks with you. Those negative thoughts can stick with you for years. Like, that's all you'll see, that's all you'll hear when you look at yourself. Or when you're thinking of yourself, or when you're feeling good and then you're just like, oh, but so and so said this back then. So you're just like, it's so hard. And that was such a struggle for me, and I felt like God needed me to love myself because I needed to know love. And so I had so many insecurities. I had so much hurt, and hurt people hurt people. How am I gonna love someone when I don't love myself? How are you gonna love someone when you don't love yourself? Um, and I'm hurt, and hurt causes anger, strife. Proverbs 10:12. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sin. So I'm over here struggling, not being able to love completely because I didn't know how to love myself. Um, and so when I got closer to God, He brought all of this to my attention. He's like, okay, you need to love yourself. Because if I don't love myself, I'm feeding my thoughts with negative thoughts of, and it's not prospering me. I'm not growing. I'm not going to be able to grow with God if I'm filling my thoughts with negative things, like negative thoughts. How am I going to grow with God? So God's like, we're going to fix this, and this is how we fixed it. Spend that time with God. Spend that beautiful time with God. And He brought up everything, and I had to reclaim it. So I had to be like, what my mom said, it hurt me. Like, going back to all those thoughts that were still in my head that I would think about. Going back to all those thoughts and saying, it's not true. My mom said this, Lord, but it's not true, and I release it to you. I'm not going to stand on that no more. Like, that was not my truth. You created me. I'm beautiful because you created me. Like, God looks at us and He's like, this is my creation. This is a piece of art, He was showing me how He sees me. And now I have to claim that truth. I can't be, like, listening to all these false narratives. And I was just like, no, that's not me. I'm so beautiful inside and I'm beautiful outside. And God's just been transforming me and helping me see that. I'm like, Lord, help me love myself. Help me see that for myself. And he just brought me back to so many roots, so many things that, you know, caused my insecurities, and we talked about it. So spend that time with God and talk about it. Talk about every single thing and set it free. And replace it with truth. That's it. That's exactly how he healed me in my self-love journey. And showing up for myself, caring for myself. You know? What's that word? Expecting more out of yourself. Not settling for less because you love yourself and you value yourself. And there was just a big thing that just God spoke to me through. And I don't know who needed to hear this, but if you're struggling through that, like, that's what I would recommend, to spend time with him and heal through that and know that what they said is not true. That is such a lie. That is a lie. And grow beautifully inside out. Like, you will grow because you have that faith in Jesus, and he's going to heal you, and you're going to see it in your face, and the way you walk, and your joy, and inside and outside, you're going to start blooming. I love flowers, so I've been thinking a lot about flowers and just how they bloom and how beautiful they are. And God's just been showing me some. Oh, look, I'm wearing a flower dress, but flowers are so, yeah, it's so beautiful. Look how beautiful a flower is. And aren't you more beautiful than a flower that God made from the dirt? You know what I mean? Like, God, you are so beautiful. You are so beautiful. Yeah, so if you're struggling with bullying, and the internet, dude, is so toxic. The internet can be so toxic when it comes to cyberbullying. I was getting cyberbullied. I blew up on TikTok for a little bit from a military TikTok. And there were so many things that also I had to bring to God, but like, don't feed into the cyberbullying or what people say online. It can be so negative. Like, protect yourself, protect your peace, and stand on truth, guys. In love, all things are made perfect. Sorry. But yes, that was the word for today. I love you, and I hope you have a good day. I'll be posting at least twice a week. At least twice, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One of those days, I'm going to be posting twice a week. So if you want to follow me and grow with me and have encouragement, yes. And I know my camera's not good, the volume, the quality, I know, guys, but God is going to provide. So this is temporary. Okay. I love you. Bye.